Hello viewers, my name is Tyler Marchand, and today I'm going to be talking about my picks for the best hit songs of 2013. 2013 was an interesting year to say the least. I'm going to be talking about 20 songs today, which were all very good, and that's the thing about 2013. A lot of songs from this year fell into extremes. You have these songs that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes, and then you're going to have stuff on the bad end. A lot of broke country songs that are hard to distinguish from one another. One track that advocates date rape, and Lil Wayne bottoming it out with some of his worst bars ever. And I'm not even talking about Bitches Love Me. But I'm not here to talk about the bad, so I better change my course immediately. My regretted omission from last year is Take Care. Now, before I get to my 10 honorable mentions, I need to make a little note right out of the gate. Same Love will not be on this list. I appreciate the message of the song, and I respect Macklemore for having the balls to release such a song as a single, but it just doesn't hit the 8 out of 10 threshold needed to make the list. Possibly hurt by one lyric, which tends to paint conservatives with a broad stroke. Speaking of which, I do not want to see any comments about how I am a homophobe for not including it, so please, don't test me. Anyways, on to the honorable mentions. This was Zed's first major hit, and I'll admit, as an EDM artist, his work is very limited. Most of the strengths of his songs, including this one, come from the primary vocalist's abilities. And this brings us to Foxes. Haha, very funny, guys. Anyways, her vocal performance, it really elevates the song for me, so check the song out if you aren't already familiar with it. I'll admit right out of the gate that this is a song that I hear so often, even today, that I am almost tired of hearing it. However, I wasn't going to not mention it. But even if overplay wasn't an issue, I'd say that the song still would have had too much competition to make the top 10 list proper. One Republic's biggest song, Ryan Tedder is contemplating what music critics often refer to as selling out, and we are left with a song that did deserve one of the best chart runs in all of Billboard history. Like I said, country music really went to shit this year thanks to acts like Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, and Blake Shelton. And the really sad thing about it all is that all of them have made some really good songs outside of the bro country dreck. And then you have this, a song that very well could have been sung by Carrie Underwood, just works phenomenally in the hands of Miranda Lambert. She's gone through a very rough breakup and is rebuffing her mother's advice, which is simply to just suck it up and get on with your life. There's going to be one more country hit that could appear on the list proper, so stay tuned to see what it's going to be. It may be a surprise, it may not, I don't know. At this point in time, this was Justin Timberlake's biggest hit song, and to date, it's probably my favorite one. The synth-like guitars that open up the song set the stage for this song where JT is professing his love for the person who completes him. By the way, this song could have made the list proper if it got rid of the last 2.5 minutes of the song. Not because it would be too long otherwise, but I just don't see what the "You are the love of my life" part adds to the song. Still fantastic though. This song was a big deal back toward the end of 2013, a massive critique of popular music of the era and how a substantial portion of it has become commercialized. And I still hear this song today, but I just couldn't place it on the list properly because, admittedly, the minimalist beat does get a tad bit boring after a while. But that is not going to take away from Lorde at all, who herself was not even 10 months younger than me, but still has a very distinguished voice. So I still endorse this song all the same. Regrettably, I don't hear this song as much today as I did even a few years ago, but it still gets some spins today, and this indie dance track is a very infectious one, thanks to the synths that drive the verses and those horns that lead the post-choruses. The lyrics are all about being there for that special someone whenever they're needed, but with songs like this, you tend not to look at the lyrics that much, because that's not where the true magic is. Kendrick Lamar's first hit song, and this is actually a pleasant surprise of a song that came very close to making my top 10 proper. I would say that the synths that drive the song are very catchy, but the main draw, of course, are Kendrick's bars, where he delves into the world of alcoholism, with the chorus being him pressured, where he's being pressured by a partygoer not to babysit on the beverages, but just to dive in. I've mentioned it in the past that I swore I would not get involved with vices of the modern world when I became of age, drinking one of them, but I can still enjoy the song all the same. This can't be real, right? The song of the year was a stupid track from a corny white guy from Seattle centered around Goodwill shopping? Even though the song is very stupid. In a similar vein to Toby Keith's Red Solo Cup, it just works thanks to that very catchy trumpet that drives the main riff of the song, as well as Wayne's chorus. But then again, you also have Macklemore just playing it in earnest, which helps as well. If there's one nitpick I had about the song, I'd say that I'm not really a fan of the child voices at the beginning and end of the song. But even with those little bits, it is still a blast. Outside of Calvin Harris's "We Found Love," I'd say that this was the biggest EDM hit of this era, and deservedly so. It is sad to think that Avicii is already gone when he could have made lots more fantastic music, as he was really good at blending electronic dance music with the folk music, and he made it work phenomenally well. Add in Aloe Black's vocal contributions, and you are left with a great song that still gets frequent spins today, and each one of those spins are very well deserved. Like I said before, this is about the time in the decade where Bruno Mars started releasing throwback-style songs as singles, and we all know what it has done for his career. But this song is different. It is a piano ballad where he shows regret that he never paid his girlfriend enough attention when they were together, and he just hopes that she finds that someone who will give her the attention. It's a very mature move on his part, and I've always had a soft spot for this song. Maybe others do too, but maybe we'll see in the comments. Okay, those are my 10 honorable mentions. Considering that many beloved modern-day classics like Counting Stars, Mirrors, Royals, and Wake Me Up didn't make the list proper, what could have? It's time to find out. It was back in 2013, specifically during the summer months, that I first discovered the Billboard charts. And I remember that I would start watching weekly videos to see which songs were big in America for that time frame. Imagine my surprise when I go to a random week and I find that a certain track that I'd been hearing for a while in Reno was at one point the #1 song in the country. Okay, when it comes to Pink songs, this song is a far cry from the punk rock output of the 2000s, but that doesn't mean that there isn't quality to be found. Oh no, because she has always had a great voice, which is apparent in this track. She is scared that her relationship might not be working out, but the partner, fun vocalist Nate Roos, tries to assure her that nothing could be further from the truth. Both sound fantastic together, and I still hear this song today, quite a bit in fact, so that is a major plus. Number 9. Back in my 2012 video, I got quite a few comments telling me that while one of my entries was great, it wasn't their favorite song from the artist involved. I'm sorry, I just never gravitated towards that song, so it's not gonna make this list. Fuck it, you all know that I'm a shitty liar. Okay, let me rephrase. While I have liked this song for going on 6 years now, I've just always preferred to listen to It's Time instead. I've never really been a fan of dubstep, but this song is just different. When combined with that intense chorus, I feel it in my bones enough to make my systems blow. This song just becomes something else entirely. I still stand behind what I said regarding my favorite Imagine Dragons song being It's Time, with Whatever It Takes being close behind it, but this song is still a deserving one. It's still a great song, and it really deserved the record it holds for the longest chart run in Billboard history. Number 8, and the award for the most random start to a song ever goes to... "2013 was a really interesting year in which there was a mini revival of disco music. Now, we'll get to the apex of this adrenaline rush later on, but Bruno Mars trying it out just worked phenomenally. There isn't much lyrically to this song, just him saying that this woman is so special. But when you have a song like this, the only purpose of it is to get you to dance, which this song is going to succeed at 1,000,000 times over. Awesome work, Bruno. Keep it up. Number 7. Now you're probably wondering, when am I going to complete the obvious trifecta for this year? I don't normally do this, but I'll make an announcement regarding it. All in due time. Due time, by the way, is right now. Out of the 2013 singles that Bruno Mars released this year, When I Was Your Man gets frequent radio spins today. Treasure is kind of been buried, no pun intended, but this song is still very popular. For this throwback style song, Bruno Mars is imitating the style of The Police, as evidenced by those guitars that drive the main riff of the song and subtle bass guitar in the background. And then you get to the lyrics. Bruno Mars is at this point starting to make sexually explicit songs. He's just amazed by the sexual prowess of his mistress that he wonders how he ever lived without her. At this point, you can safely assume that if a year-end list has Bruno Mars on it in some capacity, there's going to be at least an 80% chance that that song will be on my best list in some form, even if it's just an honorable mention. So you can look forward to that. Number 6. When looking back through the history books for popular music, when people get to 2013, they are going to wonder how a song like this was able to spend a mind-boggling 79 weeks on the charts. This song was initially released back in 2011, but perhaps aided by the rise of dubstep later on in the decade, this song would become a monster hit. It had a peak just barely within the top 20, but was still in the upper quarter for the year-end list almost entirely thanks to its chart run, which I'm glad it had. The lyrics mainly detail how the narrator's personal disabilities affects his way of showing affection, but I'm pretty sure you all know why the song is as great as it is. It is, of course, the instrumentation. One thing that isn't pointed out that I just realized when creating the script for this video was how it sounds eerily similar to Foreigner's Cold as Ice. Seriously, people, listen to the two side by side and tell me if I'm crazy. Anyways, this is an example of weird equating to unlikely quality, and I love this. Number 5. Well, this is one entry you should have all seen coming. While this track was nowhere near as big as their two smashes from 2012, or even Nate Ruess's success this year collaborating with Pink from earlier in the list, this song from the New York band of Arizona musicians still gets played like it was as big as its predecessors. Someone commented on this in a previous video, but I bring up how often I hear a song on radio since I spend a good chunk of my day in a car, and that is what I listen to predominantly when I'm on the road. When I do hear this song, I don't tune in for the lyrics about, well... Okay, to be honest, I'm not really sure what the lyrics are about for this song, but I tune in for the instrumentation, especially after that first chorus, where guitars start coming in and it gets heavier, and it culminates with a Queen-esque guitar solo. Even if I can't comprehend what the song is still about, I still love it all the same. Number 4. Out of all of the entries in perhaps this entire video, this is probably going to be the one that people will look at me funny the most. Even if they don't think the song is bad, they just don't consider it worthy of a best list. I understand, but then again, this is my list, so I'm okay with putting the song here. This song I remember hearing very frequently in that summer of 2013 when my family went on a trip to Colorado, and I still hear the song very frequently today. I told you you'd probably have some problems with this song, but hey, my video, my rules. Anyways, that summer, while my father took part in a conference hosted in the Denver suburb of Golden, my mother, younger brother, and I would drive around the area during these days, traveling to nearby Boulder, where my family lived for 4 years, or drive through the Rocky Mountains. Across that trip, this song would be played very frequently. I loved it then, and I love it even today. It was about this time in Tim McGraw's life that his daughters were getting older. One of them was actually approaching driving age. So of course, he makes a song imploring you to keep your eyes on the road. Taylor Swift plays the role of the singer of the radio song that the driver is listening to. The reason why I have the song up this high is because of the instrumentation, specifically Keith Urban's guitar instrumentation. Listen, a lot of the songs that Keith Urban made back in the 2000s are ones that I grew up listening to, but he's also a fantastic guitar player, as evidenced throughout this song, especially for those two guitar solos toward the back half of the song. Today I kind of asked myself, what happened to Keith Urban and his songs for later on in the decade? They have taken a serious nosedive in quality. Oh well, at least there's still this. Number 3. Remember what I was saying about the mini revival of disco back in 2013? Well... Come on, how was I not gonna put this on the list? This is one of the most beloved songs of the year, if not the entire decade. In fact, even people who think that 2013 was not a good year for music will concede that this song is unfiltered awesomeness. In fact, almost any other year, this song would top a best list. Pharrell Williams steals the show vocally as he wishes to get lucky while at a dance club. But then again, you also have the true stars being Daft Punk themselves. Their funk guitars that drive the song are iconic, and they even get a moment to shine. The member Daft Punk themselves even get a moment to shine in that bridge. And their robotic voices somehow makes the song even better. My favorite bits come with those synths that start playing towards the end of the song, but I'm also saddened once I hear those synths because the song is ending. Now you're probably asking, if this song is only at number 3, then what could have topped it? Only 2 songs could possibly top this, so let's just talk about them. Number 2. Like I said, we are at the point in the list where any potential surprises are long gone, and that everything else in the video will have already been praised to hell and back to the point where I'm not sure if I can even add anything new. But let me try.
We give it to the people, spread it across the country. Here we go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over.
When you saw that I had Thrift Shop as an honorable mention, you had to see that this would be on the list proper. And it's a shame that radio stations seem to have forgotten about this song, since it is awesome. Lyrically, Macklemore's just repping for his hometown of Seattle, but the high quality comes from 2 sources. You got Macklemore's fast delivery, as well as the instrumentation. Those piano chords that open the song are iconic. I recognize that I'm using this word very frequently, but in this case, this is really a point where the instrumentation stands out so much that I don't know, I can't really think of any other good appropriate use to use in its place. Oh, and there's also Ray Dalton's chorus, which is unforgettable. Now, what could have topped this for best of the year for me? Number 1. I mentioned in previous videos that the indie movement produced sleeper hits that my local stations would play frequently when they became massive. This fits with that song, and in a choice that should surprise absolutely no one. How often is it that you get a hit song from Iceland of all places? However, that's where the brother-sister duo of Monsters and Men are from, and this was their only major hit, but it is phenomenal. The orchestral style instrumentation grips your attention right from the get-go, especially with those horns, and then you get to the lyrics. They speak of a conversation between a woman and a loved one, with the loved one visiting her in her dreams at night. Bit of a tidbit, the lyrics could be perceived as disturbing if they were presented as between lovers, since once again. The vocalists are brother and sister. But the lyrics are actually smart in that it is framed that it could be between two siblings instead of just between two lovers. Together, they sound fantastic, especially when they're together in the chorus. And we are left with Little Talks, my pick for the best hit song of 2013. Well, that was my list. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, share it with others so that I can grow my audience. Subscribe to my channel so that you will know whenever I have new material out. And leave your comments down below. I just ask that you be kind with what you say, especially with my choice to not put Same Love on this list. I know that with my frequent commenters, pretty sure you all know who you are, this shouldn't be a problem. But I have a suspicion in my gut that this video is going to bring out the viewers who watch this video but don't normally comment. This is a warning to anyone who has a bone to pick about this. Keep any discussion civilized, and as long as you are civilized, then I will be as well. Anyways, next video I do is going to be for the year that I graduated from high school, 2014. Stay tuned for that list. Until then, I'm Tyler Marchand, and I'll see you later. Take care.